When President-elect Donald Trump takes office, he'll instantly be in charge of regulating the same banks he owes millions of dollars to. The Wall Street Journal reporting that right now, more than 150 financial institutions are holding Mr. Trump's and his business's debt. CNN's Christina Alessi has more on this. She joins us. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's break down this headline, right? What happened here is that Wall Street took Donald Trump's debt, put it in a large soup of other similar debt, and sold it off to a number of financial institutions. That's why you see on this chart so many different names: Wells Fargo, JPM, Vanguard. The problem is, what happens if Donald Trump has any problems repaying this debt, making interest payments? Well, lawyers worry that the dynamic could influence the way that he thinks about how to deal with banks. Remember, his Treasury Department will help regulate them. His Justice Department will decide whether to prosecute them when they're accused of wrongdoing. So all of this presents a very interesting ethical question. But let me play devil's advocate for a second. The fact that the debt has been repackaged and it passed through so many hands actually creates less of a bright line between Donald Trump and his lenders, and more people are involved. So you could argue, in a way, that this actually reduces conflicts, because it's not the banks that would be in the middle of these negotiations. It would be the servicers of that debt, which is a little bit technical. I know. Hey, at least I didn't use other jargon, okay? Cut me some slack here. But the reality is, it does present a conflict. He's going to have to address it, and we're going to hear more about it probably on January 11th when he does his first press conference in a while.
Right, in a while. So do you think that he'll actually address specifics like that?
I don't know that he'll address the debt part of his problem. His conflicts issue, shall we say. But he has so many other conflicts that are much more glaring and much more problematic, and perhaps have him running afoul of of a constitutional section of the Constitution, that perhaps he will be more sensitive to those matters and address those up front. But whether or not his children are involved in the business is going to be the biggest question, and whether or not that resolves any kind of conflicts is a big question, because they could be seen as a conduit to currying favor with the president.
Sure. Well, it'll be an interesting speech.
Yes, indeed. I'll be there. Listen to it all.
Okay. We'll talk to you then. Christina Alessi, thanks so much. Still to checking some of the top stories.